three Native American tribes that terrified the U.S. Army. Long before European settlers arrived, what is now known as the United States was a vast land home to around 500 Native American tribes, each thriving with rich traditions, distinct languages, and unique ways of life. Some of these tribes stood alone, while others banded together to form confederacies like the Iroquois Confederacy, Blackfoot Confederacy, the Sioux Alliance, the Powhatan Confederacy, and the Wabanaki Confederacy. Certain tribes held more power and occupied larger territories than others. These differences often led to intertribal wars and conflicts, even before colonization. Disputes over hunting grounds, fertile lands, territorial encroachments, and control over European goods were common triggers for these conflicts. However, one thing many of these tribes shared was a united resistance against the United States Army. In today's episode, we'll travel back in time to explore the three most formidable Native American tribes that the U.S. Army feared the most. Stay with us as we delve into history to uncover why these tribes struck such fear. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting episodes. Among the well-known Native American tribes are the Cherokee, Navajo, Sioux, Apache, Iroquois Confederacy, Blackfoot Confederacy, Nez Perce, Moken, Choctaw, Shoshone, Comanche, Cheyenne, Shawnee, Seminole, and Ojibwe. Each of these tribes played a significant role in resisting and shaping North America during that era. However, a few were particularly challenging for the U.S. Army, known for their remarkable warfare strategies, military skills, leadership, and mastery of horseback riding. Lakota Sioux Tribe. The name Lakota translates to friends or allies, while Sioux refers to a vast coalition of Midwestern Native American tribes in North America. The Lakota Sioux Tribe, also known as the Teton Sioux, was the largest of the three subgroups of the Great Sioux, with the other two being the Dakota and Nakota. The Lakota tribe is composed of 7 sects: Oglala, Brule, Hunkpa, Minneconjou, Sihasapa, Uhinumpa, and Itazipco, each with its own traditions and leadership. The Lakota were a deeply spiritual people, considering the Black Hills their sacred home. Their spiritual practices, including the Sundance and Vision quests, posed a significant threat to the U.S. Army as they infused Lakota warriors with courage and purpose. These rituals bolstered the Lakota's resolve in battle. To weaken the Native American tribes, the U.S. Army resorted to hiring poachers to decimate the buffalo herds, hoping to force them into submission. One of the spiritual movements, the Ghost Dance movement, culminated in the tragic Wounded Knee Massacre of 1890. The movement's roots lay in the teachings of Paiute medicine men, who foretold a great upheaval that would cleanse the earth of white men and bring a resurgence of Native American life. The Lakota in both South and North Dakota soon associated the movement with something extraordinary. Supporters believed that rituals and songs could restore their lands, hasten the prophesied upheaval, and even bring back their ancestors. Some Lakota followers fell into trances during the repetitive songs and circular mass dances, while others donned special shirts they believed could repel bullets. White settlers feared these customs, thinking they would incite violence, leading to a great uprising and slaughter. The Lakota Sioux were known for their formidable military strength. They were among the tribes that most frequently resisted the U.S. Army, striking fear into the hearts of American soldiers. The U.S. Army's difficulties in countering Lakota tactics influenced military strategies on the frontier. The Lakota's skillful use of mounted assaults and guerrilla warfare challenged conventional military tactics. They were fierce warriors who secured victories at the Battle of Little Bighorn and during the Great Sioux War of 1876 against General Custer and the U.S. Army. They also emerged victorious in the Red Cloud War, also known as the Bozeman War or the Powder River War, fought in the Wyoming and Montana territories between 1866 and 1868. This war, named after the influential Lakota Sioux war leader Red Cloud, saw an alliance of the Lakota, Northern Cheyenne, and Northern Arapaho tribes opposing the United States and the Crow Nation. The U.S. Army suffered its worst defeat at the hands of Plains Indians in this conflict. The Lakota Sioux tribe had fearsome leaders known for their military prowess. Key figures in the Lakota resistance included Red Cloud, Crazy Horse, and Sitting Bull. Their charisma, strategic acumen, and ability to unite diverse Lakota bands strengthened the Lakota resistance. Red Cloud led the Red Cloud's War, while Crazy Horse and Sitting Bull spearheaded the Great Sioux War, which resulted in Custer's and his troops' defeat. The Lakota Sioux embodied the Native American resistance to westward expansion. Their enduring legacy stems from their fierce defense of their way of life while adapting to changing circumstances. The U.S. Army feared the Lakota Sioux for their military strength, adaptability, and determination to resist external forces. The Lakota's legendary status as fierce warriors and symbols of Native American resilience endures in the broader history of indigenous peoples' interactions with European settlers and the United States government. The Apache tribe. The Apache are Native Americans from North America who played a significant role in the history of the Southwest in the late 1800s. Their name likely derives from a Spanish translation of the Zuni word for enemy, Apache. Before Spanish colonization, the Apache's territory encompassed parts of what are now eastern central and southeast Arizona, southeast Colorado, eastern and southwestern New Mexico, western Texas, and northern Chihuahua and Sonora states in Mexico. The Apache people lived in the harsh and arid regions that now make up parts of Mexico, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. Their ability to thrive in such a challenging environment demonstrated their resilience. They traveled vast distances across the Southwest on foot, their deep understanding of the land allowing them to move easily through rugged terrain. In the American Southwest, the Apache tribe was one of the most feared Native American nations, and even today, they remain one of the most well-known and widely publicized tribes. The Apache were renowned for their reputation as fierce fighters, capable of committing extreme acts of violence and torture, both at home and abroad. Long before U.S. government and military officials attempted to bring civilization to the Southwest, the Apache were locked in conflict with Mexico, marked by growing hostilities and animosity on both sides. The Apache were like the Vikings of the New World, raiding, pillaging, and plundering. They were especially feared in battle and infamous for their brutal treatment of captives. The Apache held in high esteem anyone who could devise particularly painful scenarios. They were also notorious for their savage acts, such as skinning and roasting their white captives alive. In the past, the Apache had raided rival tribes and occasionally even their own people, seeking food, livestock, or hostages. These raids were conducted by small groups with specific objectives and were seen as distinct from full-scale warfare. Rarely did they amass large armies of hundreds of warriors. When the earliest Spanish settlers established themselves in the Southwest, they encountered the Apache and other Native American tribes, leading to the first clashes. Later, around 1830, tensions flared up again when the U.S. government began relocating other tribes onto Apache land. During this time, the raids and relationships between the tribes grew more intense and frequent. The Apache earned a fierce reputation in the 19th century for their staunch resistance to the American military. Their unwavering determination, expertise in guerrilla warfare, and adaptability to their harsh environment made them a formidable enemy. Their deep knowledge of the land allowed them to use it to their advantage. With mastery in utilizing natural terrain for ambushes and surprise attacks, they waged a type of guerrilla warfare that struck fear into the hearts of U.S. soldiers. The Apache, led by prominent figures like Cochise, Mangus Coloradas, Geronimo, and Victorio, were greatly feared by the American Army. Cochise, the chief of the Chokonen band of the Chiricahua Apache, played a crucial role in defending Apache territory. His leadership in battle and strategic genius left a lasting impact on the tribe's history. A notable incident occurred during the Mexican-American War, when American troops wrongly accused Cochise and his people of kidnapping a young boy, sparking the first Apache Wars. Cochise, despite his honest claim of innocence and his offer to find the boy, was not believed by the commander. He and his group were held captive until they managed to escape. In response, Cochise and his supporters surrounded the American forces, demanding the release of their people, leading to a tense standoff. After the standoff, where additional braves and numerous American soldiers and mail carriers were captured, the Apache withdrew, thinking they were being outflanked. In retaliation for the refusal to release their people, the Apache executed the soldiers and postal workers they had captured, sparing only the women and children. This act of defiance marked the beginning of the Apache Wars, with Cochise rallying the tribes and declaring war on the United States. Geronimo also became a symbol of Apache resistance, with his leadership and ability to evade capture for long periods contributing to the Apache's formidable reputation. The Apache warriors were feared for their hit-and-run tactics, launching unexpected attacks on both military posts and civilian settlements. Their ability to strike swiftly and then vanish into the vast landscape made them a daunting foe. Mounted on horses, Apache warriors could conduct swift and devastating raids on both American and Mexican settlements. Their skill in covering large distances quickly made them elusive targets. The Apache rarely gathered in large groups, except when preparing for major assaults on the U.S. Army. The Army feared that the Apache might gather enough support to form a large war party, leading them to engage even small groups of Apache warriors. It took the U.S. Army over 2 decades of focused effort to subdue the Apache. The legacy of the Apache people stands as a testament to the resilience of Native Americans in the face of overwhelming adversity. Alongside the Apache, the Great Comanche tribe was one of the most formidable and warlike Native American tribes that the U.S. Army encountered. Originating from the southern plains of North America, the Comanche were known for their exceptional horsemanship, strategic brilliance, and combat skills. The Comanche tribe. In the 1800s, the U.S. Army faced significant challenges in battling the Comanche. The Comanche, who were equestrian nomads in the 18th and 19th centuries, derived their name from a Ute word meaning anyone who wants to fight me all the time, a name that reflected their fierce nature. The Comanche were among the first tribes to acquire horses from the Spanish and were known for their horse breeding. They were also unique in that they fought battles while mounted, a skill not shared by other tribes. The very mention of the Comanche struck fear into the hearts of the Texas frontier people. The Comanche were notorious for their raids, feared not only by settlers but also by other tribes in the U.S. Army. Their lives were steeped in warfare, with battles often fought to acquire goods, horses, and captives. The Comanche moon, the time during full moons when the Comanche would raid, became a time of terror for settlers. However, it is important to note that many Native American women and children also lost their lives during these raids, and the Army often executed soldiers without exception. The Comanche were so well known for their violent actions that they were often blamed for any violent event, even those they might not have committed. Some stories, such as the account of Matilda Lockhart during the 1840 Council House fight in San Antonio, may have been exaggerated or fabricated to encourage the hunting of the Comanche. The Comanche's fearsome reputation significantly impacted the expansion of frontier settlements, the movement of settlers, and the U.S. Army's strategy in dealing with Native American nations. The Comanche also had great leaders who instilled terror in their enemies through strategic warfare and military skill. For instance, Quanah Parker, the last chief of the Quahati Band, became a symbol of Comanche resistance. His leadership and adaptability made him a formidable opponent. The Comanche were also a highly skilled tribe, particularly in their use of horses. Their agility and speed on the battlefield allowed them to make quick movements and travel long distances, enabling them to strike in unexpected places. They also perfected mounted archery, allowing them to shoot arrows with precision while on the move, making them highly effective in open-field combat. Like the Apache, the Comanche mastered the hit-and-run tactic, launching surprise attacks on military and civilian targets and disappearing before a counterattack could be organized. They demonstrated their adaptability during the 1864 Battle of Adobe Walls, where they successfully attacked a buffalo hunter's camp. Despite being outnumbered, their ability to engage in large-scale battles, ambushes, and guerrilla warfare made it difficult for the U.S. Army to predict their movements. The unconventional tactics of the Comanche presented significant challenges for the U.S. Army. Their reputation for military skill, adaptability, and mobility made them a dangerous force. The broader history of Native American interactions with European settlers and the U.S. government is marked by the Comanche's legacy as accomplished warriors and symbols of resistance. So there you have it, dear viewers. The Apache, Lakota, and Comanche tribes real-life warriors who stood against the might of the U.S. Army. These were no ordinary tribes. They were forces of nature, riding across the plains as if born to it. This isn't just about wars and conflicts. It's about the resilience, adaptability, and deep connection to the land that these tribes embodied. They were respected not just for the fear they inspired, but for their unwavering spirit in the face of change. Join us next time for another journey. Until then, keep your curiosity alive and continue exploring. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.